When my ex first called me a narcissist, I remember thinking to myself, am I a narcissist? And had a conversation with ChatGPT, and essentially I was like, I check a lot of these boxes, but I don't check all the boxes, so I don't think I'm a narcissist. And one of those boxes that I didn't check was envy. And I was like, I really don't experience envy that much. Like, almost not at all. And I would think that it's less than most people. But fast forward to a little bit more than a year, when I came to the realization that I really was a narcissist, this second time when I was looking at the word envy, I actually saw it in a different light and realized that there were people that I was envious about. Like, and not just like, oh, I wish I had what they had. Envy's like an anger. It's like, I'm mad at you for being good at this. I'm mad at you for having that thing that I want. And I think that a lot of us narcissists can get by without envy in two ways. Either one, you end up being a pretty successful, like, high achiever yourself, which was definitely me. Sold a business and retired at age 32. Was way into fitness. Like, a lot of the boxes that I felt mattered, I checked. And I did really, really well. So there weren't a lot of people above me that I was like, wishing or feeling envious toward. The other trick that we do is that we kind of change the rubric to say, well, I don't care about those things. For example, I was happy enough to have enough money to not have to work. So when there were people who were way richer than me who had like private jets and stuff, I was like, yeah, but they don't get to use their time. They don't get to enjoy. They don't actually have fun, And I remember the one person I actually noticed that I had a lot of envy toward was a friend from college who had sold a business and was traveling the world with his family, had an Instagram account that they just shared all of their things. And I mean, this guy was like in a new country every other week, and I did feel envy towards that man. And I noticed it. I'd always be like, he's the worst. He's probably this and this. And it was so funny. And I would notice myself being that way. But the second time I was looking at this rubric of narcissism, when I was actually waking up to my narcissism, I was like, I do have envy, and I have it pretty bad over there. Just recently, I experienced some pretty intense envy and had to work through those emotions. I'll save that story for the end. I first wanted to talk about why is it that narcissists experience envy to begin with? And if it comes down to the core issues behind narcissism. As a young child, many of these narcissists, about 90% according to research, felt neglected and basically unloved. So they developed a deep sense of unlovability. They felt like them, the way that they are, was unlovable. And so from that base wound, all of narcissism kind of stems. That's why the need for a mask exists, is to be the person that you think people want in order to love, in order to try and get love. It's why we care so much about validation, because we feel unlovable. And so we're chasing after this counterfeit version of love, which is validation, power, things that we can kind of control. And in fact, if you look at all the symptoms of narcissism, they're all a defense mechanism to not feel this feeling of unlovability. As Dr. John Bradshaw said in his book, Healing the Shame That Binds You, people have two directions to go when they have deeply internalized shame. They can either make themselves less than human or more than human to try and cope. Narcissists choose the more than human path. We try to hide that shame away from ourselves completely. And that's why we put ourselves above everyone else. We believe in this fantasy that if I can believe that I'm the best, then I don't have to look at this unlovability. It's really quite sad when you look at it. And so inherent to saying this is me, and you have to, be better than other people. And if there's people that you get above you and you can't get above, that's where the envy kicks in. So it's pretty like inherent to the overall system if you take a look at it from that perspective. I've been on this healing journey for about a year and a half. I would say that diagnostically, I don't know that I would really be a narcissist anymore because of just kind of how I move through the world, way like so much more empathetically with love and really just me and my partner Kira really don't have a lot of conflicts day to day. But today something came up in me that was pretty intense. So we have this friend, he's he's changing his career into becoming a DJ, and he's a close friend. He was a friend of Kira's way before he was a friend of mine. And so they've got this friendship, and this guy triggers me. This guy triggers me because he's everything that I'm not in my healing journey. He's kind, he's thoughtful, and he remembers things about people. And those are things that I've been struggling with for the last year and a half, that I've been really trying to do better. And Kira's pointed it out before, maybe not in the best ways, been like, oh, do you see how he shows up for his kids? Do you see how he does these things and how he's aware of other people? And those really hurt me early on. Those comments were more than a year ago at this point. And for some reason, I get this like feeling or this fear. It's probably this autopilot of my narcissism that believes that Kira thinks that this guy's better than me, or that like he's the one I'm now trying to become. Funny enough. And so he's starting this DJ career, and Kira, he's really talented. The guy is like really amazing. I love it, and I'm really happy for him. But when I see Kira recording him for his videos, when I see her, cheering him on and stuff, it kind of irks me a little bit. He is tapping into a wound that is so deep that predates Kira, predates all of them. It goes down to like my childhood wounds of feeling unlovable. And so when that gets tapped, this anger comes up, and I'm just like trying to fight it. And so it's kind of like come up in bits and pieces there, and I've worked with it, but for some reason it hit today really bad. Kira was just listening to a song that he had sent, and or he was doing a jam where like everyone's listening to the same music, and it just hit me. Just like I was like shaking. I was so mad. And the narcissistic mind wants to blame your partner, because it's saying, I don't want to feel this ever again. Stop, knock it off. And I saw my brain being like, fuck him. Why would he ever send that song to you? And why, just whatever. And it was just like, that's so dumb. That's not even real. This is just my own insecurity, but I was still angry as hell. So I put on my shoes and I went for a run, ran a mile, came back, was still angry. So I like lifted weights, chopped wood till I was just like gassed, and then the anger was gone. And I came up to my little meditation pillow in my office, and I lit a candle, and I took some deep breaths, and I just sat with the feeling, and I said, what's underneath this anger? And what I found was just like deep feelings of unlovability. So deep that my mind I struggled to like get to it, to actually feel it. But once I got there, I just started sobbing, uncontrollably sobbing. I just remembered all these times when I was little, when I was a teenager, and I just felt like I was the worst. These wounds were just coming up. And when I realized my anger and my resentments is just my grief in disguise. And that if I really want to heal my insecurities, I just have to sit with those deep feelings and like reparent myself. So I visualized myself like holding like a younger version of me, or versions actually, and just like feeling the grief and just being like, I got you. Like, I'm a man now. I can take these feelings and I can give myself that security that I need. So it was a pretty beautiful experience. And I think it showcases a handful of things, how envy shows up, why it shows up. And at the end of the day, it's our job as narcissists who are trying to heal to know that those feelings are ours, that they're rooted in insecurity, and that we're the ones that have to deal with it. So what was amazing was after that, I went downstairs, and I told Kira, hey, I'm going to be 30 minutes late to lunch because I'm just so angry and insecure, and I just got to go work through this. And then I felt fine. I felt like it was completely out of my body. Hugged her, and then I told her about everything that happened. And this is just the sort of healing work that we narcissists need to be willing to do, is not put our pain on other people, but take it in, look at it ourselves, be with it, and let the healing start. So hope that's helpful to anyone who's trying to understand narcissism better, especially narcissists themselves who are trying to heal, because healing is possible. It's hard as hell, but it's totally possible. Take care. See ya.